Hey beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the latest changes to COS. The new Prime Minister is not having it with employers in 2025. I mean, he is coming hard on employers. As an employee who is looking for COS, you need to know all of these things. The Prime Minister has made a lot of changes to COS and sponsorship license. So sit tight, relax, and let's get straight into it. My name is Faith Ojone, and this is your go-to channel for anything information, lifestyle, and storytelling. If these are the kind of contents that interest you, hit the subscribe button down below, turn on your notification bell so you don't miss any of my videos. The Prime Minister has made a lot of changes regarding the sponsorship license, and as an employee in the UK who is still looking for COS, you want to know all of this information to help you understand the new rules regarding issuing COS. The UK government has recently updated the guidelines for skilled worker sponsor license. These changes became effective at the end of 2024 and the start of 2025. So it is important for employers who sponsor foreign workers to understand the new rules. So let's go through this update. So there are three key parts to the new changes. Number one is applying for license, how employers can apply to sponsor workers. Secondly, how to assign roles to sponsored workers. And number three is the sponsor duties, compliance, the rules employer must follow to keep their sponsorship license. So the government updated part 1 and 3 on the 31st December 2024 and part 2, which is 1st January 2025. These updates include important changes, especially around costs and responsibilities for employers. The key changes in this update: number one, employers can't pass license and COS fees to workers. So employers are no longer allowed to make workers pay for the sponsorship license or certificate of sponsorship, that's the COS. So usually smaller companies do offer to sponsor employees but then put the burden of the sponsorship license on the employees. Previously, some company would ask workers to pay part of these fees, especially if the company was a small or struggling financially company. Now, the law makes it clear that those costs are the employer's responsibility. Employers cannot tell you to pay for your COS in the UK anymore. It is against the law. So if a company tried to make workers pay these fees, they will risk losing their sponsorship license. So these new rules protect workers from being financially burdened during the sponsorship process. However, it also increases the cost for employers, especially small businesses that might struggle to pay for sponsorship fees. A lot of employers in the care sectors really abused the sponsorship thing, making employees to pay for everything. They've made it officially a law now. Employers cannot make you pay for a sponsorship license. If they cannot afford to pay these fees for you, then they shouldn't be sponsoring you. But again, it has a little bit of disadvantage, because if as an employee you want to remain in the UK, some of us are willing to pay to remain in the UK. We don't mind to pay, but now if a company is found out for doing this, they would revoke their license. That's what the Prime Minister is saying. The second rule, which is the new rule for license revocation: if a company breaks the new rules that the Home Office have put in place by not making their employees pay for sponsorship, they may revoke, cancel their sponsorship license, asking workers to pay part of the COS fees. These are all the things that will make an employer lose their sponsorship license. Also, asking workers to pay for the sponsored license or related administrative costs. And even if a company made an agreement with a worker before these rules started, the company could still lose their license if fees are taken after 31st December 2024. So it's official. If they find out that an employer is making employee to pay for sponsorship license after the 31st December 2024, they are officially breaking the sponsorship laws. So number 3, no sponsoring workers in a personal capacity. The updated guide now ban companies from sponsoring workers for personal or household jobs, such as hiring nannies or housekeepers using a skilled worker license. The sponsor license is strictly for business purposes, not for personal arrangements. The only exception is for private servants working in a diplomatic household. If you're not a diplomat, you cannot sponsor anybody now. So another thing is the clarification for key personnel roles. Okay, every sponsor license must have at least level 1 users who is either an employee, partner, or a director of a business. So overseas representatives cannot take on these roles. So the next one is additional evidence for care sector's employers. Care sector employers, move forward. They have an update for you guys. Employers in the care sectors must now provide extra proof, such as a care quality commission, the CQC status checks for every branch when applying for license. So if a care company is opening a different branch in different location in the UK, they have to meet the CQC status before they can apply for sponsorship license. These rules ensure proper compliance and prevent misuse of the system. I mean, the government is putting roadblocks everywhere, like every corner, roadblock. The UK government, I mean, now know, I think they know before, or are now taking it seriously, because the skilled worker sponsorship license has a lot of loopholes that people are misusing it and taking advantage of. They are now creating a more proper instruction in place explaining what the COS or sponsorship license is meant for and how it should be used. So if you are reading all of this and you still go ahead to do what you want, then now you are breaching the law. The care sector has had many license revocation in the past. Yeah, we know. So businesses in these industries must be extra careful to follow all regulations. What hasn't changed? The only thing that hasn't changed regarding the sponsorship license is self-sponsorship, which is still allowed. These updates don't ban self-sponsorship. Small startups and businesses without employees can still apply for a license if they meet other requirements, like having a genuine need for sponsorship and a solid financial plan. If you own a small business in the UK, you can still self-sponsor yourself, but you have to meet all the requirements. The government talks about the cooling off period and action plan timelines. Time frames for cooling off periods after a sponsorship revocation is 12 months and action plans is 3 months, which remains the same. So if a company license has been revoked, they have 12 months cooling off period before they can reapply for their license again. The December 2024 update aimed to make the skilled worker sponsorship process lot fairer and more transparent. By banning the transfer of costs to workers and restricting personnel sponsorship, the Home Office is trying to protect workers and ensure compliance to the sponsorship rule. Truth is, these changes also create new challenges for employers, especially smaller businesses. If a smaller business would like to sponsor someone and they cannot afford to pay the COS fee, then they will not be able to sponsor, which means that a lot of small businesses will not be able to sponsor people. To adapt, employers must review their internal processes, that it aligns with the updated guidance, avoid asking workers to pay for any fees related to sponsorship, and ensure that sponsor license are used only for a genuine business purpose. The skilled worker sponsor license is a valuable tool for business needing foreign workers, but maintaining the compliance is very, very important. With more updates likely to come in 2025, employers need to stay informed, likewise employees. And the truth is, this is going to be a problem. A lot of businesses will not now hire people without the right to work in the UK. So those people already in the UK, especially those on a graduate visa who are looking for companies that will sponsor them, will now have to struggle. Thank you so much for watching, and guys, I will see you in my next video. Bye.